So today I'll be walking you through my process of getting the Schengen visa, getting denied, and also having to appeal 3 days before my flight. Hey guys, and welcome back. My name is Mpinyari, and this is Mpinyari in real life. So here we talk about everything: travel, self-help, self-improvement, all that jazz. So stay tuned as I walk you through the most emotionally taxing visa process on earth, the Schengen visa application process. So if you're an African, if you're from Kenya in particular, then this video is for you. So one thing you need to note is the denial or the approval of your visa depends on so many different factors that it's so hard to find like a foolproof method to do it. So you just literally have to do it right. The factors depend on the type of visa. For example, how long you're going to visit for, the purposes of visiting, who's gonna be taking care of you there, your finances, if you have family ties, so many factors. So obviously we're going to talk about all that in this video. Do hit the like, subscribe, and let's just dive right into it. So my very first tip is to make sure that you have given yourself ample time between the time that you want to travel and the time that you start applying for your visa, because this can take such a long time. You know why? Because, well, they do have appointments. Like in my case, they had a very, very long appointment list. So we were juggling the whole process within a time period of 2 months, and it got to almost 2 weeks before our planned travel time before we could actually get an appointment. And that was also very hard. So the first thing we did is that we had to get an invite. So in my case, it was a visit visa and I had a host. The invite has to be a hard copy. So if your host, for example, in my case, I was in Spain, right? So your host has to go to the police in Spain, the police department. They have to get this particular letter, and then they have to mail or ship this letter to you. So they will not accept scanned copies. They will not accept photocopies or a picture of the letter. The letter has to be sent to you. So this is why you have to start this process so early on, because as you can see, the demands are very hectic. Okay, the second step is that now you have to fill in the online application form. So basically this online application form helps you also see the checklist. So that depends on the category or type of traveler you are. Those criteria are very many. You need passport photos of yourself. So there's some requirements. They have the exact measurements, but some photocopy places or offices or whatever, they know this exact measurements depending on the country that you're applying for. So if you want to go to like a direct professional, they will be able to help you do that. So that should be very easy. You have to follow those exact rules, the rules that have been stipulated to you in your checklist. Now, I know everybody wants to know, how much do I need to have in my bank account? And I can tell you for free, I don't think there's like an exact figure. Of course, there's like a minimum. My assumption is that the minimum is about 1,000 euros, right? I think that should be like what you give yourself as a minimum. Obviously, a maximum, there's no limit, right? So that would be great. But I think more than the balance that you currently have, what matters most is the traction. What matters most is the traction of your bank account. Now, hang on with me, because what is in your account or how your bank looks or how your statements look do matter. But also, in case you have a host or someone who has invited you, that also matters. You understand? So their bank accounts as well might suffice. Hang on with me. So this is where we got to the appeal point, where I was denied and I had to appeal. That's where I had my first pain point. The bank statement, it has to be about 6 months. I don't remember if it was 3 to 6 months. So if you're planning to probably travel in January next year, maybe if you want to start traveling in May next year, from now, the point of posting this video, you want to start moving money in your account, right? Your bank account has to look very, very healthy, because they will be checking that progress. So you cannot just go and deposit a huge chunk of money today and then now you'll be like, oh, but I have the money. No, they want to see the constant movement of your account, right? So that's the hint, right? In the more the merrier. The thing that matters very much is if you're currently in school, if you're studying, and if you are currently employed, or if you have kids, or if you're married, or if you have a business back home. This is mostly for a tourist visa. So this is just to show that you have some ties back home and you're not at risk of going there and disappearing, which unfortunately, maybe they have so many cases of that. So they're trying to obviously avoid that. So you would want to show that if you have a title deed, if you have a business permit or like a business registered, or your marriage certificate, or your children who are back here. So that would definitely heighten your chances of getting this visa. Of course, there's a particular visa fee that you need. So that one usually matters, I think, depending on the time. So during that time, I think it was about 17,000 Kenya shillings. That's like a non-refundable fee that they request from you. So this doesn't matter if you get the visa or not. This amount is non-refundable. So this has gone with the wind. I saw that there was a discussion about Kenyans right now. Claiming that Europe and the US should refund us all the money that people have spent on the visas that were denied.
Unless, and the word unless should be underlined with capital letter, unless they ask for apology.
I love that for us. I mean, one thing about Kenyans, we will come for you is like, I digress. You need to buy a ticket. Okay. So basically, they advise you to not really buy a ticket. It's like a preliminary ticket. So you're either safe booking a ticket, for example, or buying a ticket on Flexi, right? So it's like if you're denied, which I hope you're not going to be, if you're denied, then you can go and get a refund for that, right? So this is what we did. So we got an insurance. Oh, the other thing is that you also have to get your own medical insurance. They have a list of like approved countries where you can get approved insurance companies that you can get your medical insurance with, right? So you want to check the checklist, they put it there. In my case, I got it with CIC insurance. It was, I think, about 6,000 Kenya shillings, right? So this one you have to actually buy. You know what I mean? Like, you cannot book this one. This one you have to buy. You have to show you're ready as they go. The clarity of my footage may change a little bit because it got a bit dark. But I'm shooting somewhere today and the lady was really, really nice. I was like struggling and being like, oh my God, what do I do? She was like, do you need more light? And I was like, yes, thank you. So yeah, that was a very sweet experience. Anyway, so some common mistakes to avoid during this process are this. First mistake is applying too late. Applying when you have like 3 days left, when you don't have sufficient time, because you see, you want to give yourself a range of time in case you're denied, then you have enough time to appeal and bring the right documents. The second mistake is just outright lying. You're probably lying about your job, you're lying about why you're visiting. And I do say this like so many things. Of course, we're human beings and we're imperfect, and we're also very creative. We can come up with some really, really nice lies. But honesty is like the best policy. So if you didn't lie and you're denied on grounds, if you lie now and you're denied, you're unable to cover up this lie. But if you told the truth and you're still denied, you are able to find the right document or the right thing. The other mistake is incomplete application forms. So basically, when you're reading your application form, just take your time, make sure it's thorough, so that you make sure you bring all the necessary documents. And obviously, the documents do vary depending on those factors that we mentioned, the type of visa and all that. So there, you have to custom make your application in accordance to what is required for you. So you want to bring that in its totality. You'd rather bring more documents than less, right? And last but not least, obviously, presentation does matter. So I don't expect you to show up to your visa interview in, hangovered or in ragged clothes. Just basic etiquette. If you're rejected, don't give up. You can always appeal. I mean, I usually say this about life. The worst you can get is a no. Maybe the first no. If you really want it badly, you're gonna get it. The other thing to look out for, though, is like scammers. I'm not hating on anyone's business, but I feel like most people online will try to scam you for just walking you through the process. So do with that information whatever you may please. So also take advantage on the fact that there is so much information online nowadays. So you want to check their website to see if there's like any updates, because obviously it's 2024, but someone who's probably gonna watch this video in 2028, the information and the processes may most likely have differed to some extent. So you want to do that. And obviously right now there's like an ease of application if you start early. For example, if you want to travel, the kind of people type A, people who plan their things years beforehand. So you probably know you're going to be traveling in December next year. You can start your online application process from the comfort of your home, and you should be good. So back to my very specific case. So in my case, like I said, we had managed, I thank God, we had managed to get my letters shipped a long time ago, and trying to book the appointment online so many months before all that happened. And then after which I still couldn't get an appointment, and now it was like 14 days too, right? And I still haven't gotten an appointment because they have very long queues. Sasa tukaanza kucall, and it's like, oh my gosh. Anyway, so luckily we managed to get an appointment in, and I was like 10 days before my planned date of travel. So we submitted, and I got called. Now we have 3 days before, so it took them like a week. They say 10 to 15 days, so it took them a short time. And they called me to the office. First of all, the emotional tax you pay for this process is underestimated. Anyway, so on the day, so they call you, right? They don't tell you what's inside. So I went there and I opened my bahasha, and my bahasha had a denial. And they tell you the reasons for denial. So in my case, they said I didn't show proper means of sustaining myself when I was away for the trip. Now, remember when you were filling the application form, I said that I would be hosted, right? So I didn't have to like take my itinerary. I'd be here, I'd be there, I'd sleep here, I'd eat from here. So my host would take care of that if anything was to happen. Sasa niko na siku ngapi? Less than 3 days before my day of travel. So let's say I'm traveling on Thursday, or Wednesday night. This is happening Monday morning. Sasa nikambiwa I go to the headquarters where I would make an appeal. So I go there. We are talking panic attacks and everything. That was the longest Uber ride back. So I'm calling my person and I'm like, oh shit, it didn't happen. It's probably not gonna happen. And this is what they said. Like, just go. No, actually that day it was in the afternoon when they called me. Sasa ilikuwa kama 2 p.m. So nikaenda huko and it was already closed. So now it was raining also. Like, when I think about it, I even get re-traumatized. That was such a long day. But one thing, let me just say, like, having a support system is like the best thing ever, because some things you can almost not do alone. Forget like the material bit and everything. I'm talking the emotional bit, because you really want to go, you really made all these plans, you know how it gets with travel, and you really want to get the visa. Anyway, sasa nimeenda huko kumefungwa. Now I'm taking the ride back home thinking I only have like the tomorrow and the day after, or it's over for me. Okay, and now we have also pushed the date of our ticket so far that even if we were to get refunded on the flexi terms, we would get a very minimal amount. That, and also the fact that we have to change all the other plans that we had made. Okay, so the next day nikaenda asubuhi na tubarua twangu. I took them there to the headquarters. They were very friendly. I mean, well, they were welcoming. I'm being a bit politically correct, but they were professional. So nikaenda nikachukua tu barua twangu. I brought the same documents. When I get to the headquarters, this guy, I am very grateful. He sort of like hinted that if you bring us the same documents that caused us to deny you, how does that help your case, right? Meaning that bring me something new, change my mind. So we were deliberating and we were like, okay, what do we bring? It's like, how do we show that the host is able to sustain this stay? So we printed that. How do we show that me and the host know each other? We printed photos from every time we've ever been together. So that one really helped. Okay, so we put all these photos together, but obviously what saved the day was the host showing like their details and what they do and who they are. So that obviously helped to get the appeal. So nimeketi hapo, I'm just counting hours, the longest hours of my life. So I'm just seated there. I'm sure you have seen those memes about what you look like going to a country's embassy to beg them for a visa.
You want to stop me from going out as usual, but I want to assure you, just wait, you will see me in town.
It's not a good look. Let's do better. Let's create our own countries. Anyway, so I'm seated there. My oh my, I got the appeal given there and then, right? So the same day actually, or like the same afternoon. So it was like a matter of 3 hours after presenting like more stronger proof that I could meet the requirements of the travel. So that's how we got it, and of course that was that. So I may have missed some of like things, right? So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to leave a comment and ask, or anything like that. I'd be very happy to help in my capacity. Of course, it's not like I know everything, and it was my first time anyway, so inshallah I will be visiting more countries and creating more content. If you haven't seen my last vlog, it's a Spain vlog, and I have a Diani vlog as well, so make sure to watch all of them, and I will see you on the next one. I do have a few videos about like visa application processes for different countries, so you want to check that out. I have one on work permits, but I think I'll make another video about that, going into more detail. All right guys, thank you so much for sticking around, and I will see you on the next one.